just like that, we're underway. Ashlee starts off on the head pin, picks up 8. And what you're seeing here is actually an unusual combination because of the two matches and the way that the ACST usually lines up. They're actually not bowling against each other. So let me bring up the score sheet so you can see what's going on there. I am going to get my instant replay alive as Ashlee punches out 1. And geez, poor Matt, after getting the half Worcester on the left, knocks out the 1-9. Ash looking for the 10 is going to come up just 1 pitch short. So she's starting out with a 9. And Matt, unfortunately, is 2-2-2 for his first box. And I don't want to put that to Ashlee. That would be mean to her. So let's go over to Matt and give him the 6 box. So Ashlee's actually bowling against Ryan Preus, who's going to be bowling second. Matt's bowling against Dan Castle, who will also be bowling second. So Ashlee's off the head pin looking at the 1-2-7. Matt's just got the baby triangle in the back right, and a beautiful little pickup by Ashlee for the spare. And Matt unfortunately chips out the 9, leaving the 6-10 for the spare. Let's see if he can, I'm sorry, 6-10 for the 10. Let's see if he can pick this up and convert it, and he does just that. So thanks, I believe, to Patrick Kellogg, who had responded to me putting together some stats for the ACST. He asked if we could get the percentage of perfect boxes as Ashlee fills with 7. And Matt off the head pin, but Millis can be friendly, and it is. So he's left with just the 1-7 to convert, a friendly piece of wood in the front. Ash just off the head pin. Is Roll going to get there? No, coming up a bit short. But Matt doesn't fail to convert that 10, so we'll snag that for later as well. And not that bowlers aren't super friendly to begin with, but obviously, you know, knowing that these two bowlers aren't actually going head to head, little fist bump there for the spare between Breton and Taylor. So what you're seeing here and what you're seeing in my bottom corners, excuse me, are the splits for their individual matches. Ash is on the head pin but a little light, leaves the reverse check mark on the left, and Matt unfortunately is off, but we'll get 6 on the spare as he leaves the 1, 2, 4, and 10. And I don't want to. Oh, Ash almost gets it, but no love on the back wrap. So shot 2-4-7, and oh, a pretty spare by Taylor as he kicks the head pin over into the 10. Give himself 2 in a row. And Ash unfortunately throws that one in the channel. So she'll settle for an 8, 43 through 4, where Matt's working at 42 plus a ball. So we'll see how this goes. I am going to stop my video. Oh, another good head pin hit for Ash, and a painful head pin hit for Matt as he settles for 5 on the spare, getting the spread eagle and the 7. Oh, Ash chips the 3 out, leaves a wiggly 5. Matt looking to convert, gets some action, but it's not going to go for him. Ashlee will settle for 9 and a 52 half as Dan and Ryan come up for the first time. And Matt picks it up as well for a 10 box and a 57 half. So we'll switch over to the second bowler scores, and the stats at the bottom should stay the same. So what you're going to see at the bottom of the screen here is you will see a drift between the difference in the strings and a difference through completed boxes. So Ryan's first ball, little off to the right, sweeps out the back right triangle in the 8. Dan off to the left, knocks out the 4 on the left, so 1-5 and everything to the right. The third match that's going on in this whole setup here is actually Greg Gouillard from Candlepin Bowling Network is here streaming, as well as I am. We're having a little fun because, you know, we're both here. And we figured why not set out as many channels as possible. Ryan settles for the open as the 9 box. We'll see if Dan can convert anything out of this 1, 3, 5, 10 mess. A little tight. So, ironically enough, they both have matched up to their partner through the first box. So as you can see, on the right of my little score charts down the bottom, through completed box. Thanks, Greg. Hoping to see how they do. Ryan's back on the head pin with an unusual leave. He's got the eagle wing to the left, the 9 pin off to the right, and Dan, unfortunately, just plunks out the 7. Is it gonna go? It's 9 3/4, but it doesn't go down for him. So just the single pin 9. Dan's second ball. Wow, everything except for the 8. Unfortunately for Ryan, as he's up against the spare from Ashlee, he's going to slip a little bit behind with his 9 box. And as you can see, Ashlee's got an 8-pin lead through completed boxes. Dan follows the wood in, so he's staying neck and neck with Matt, though Matt does have a pair of spares that he's up against here, so he's going to have to step it up just a little. Ryan's solid head pin ball. Leaves himself the 4-8. And too solid of a head pin ball. He's got the right wing and the 4-pin. Ryan absolutely dead on for the spare. Might as well clip it. And Dan loses that one out to the side. Settles knocking out the 10-pin. So now he's got a 2-1 split to the right. It'll be the 3, the 6 on the right, and the 4-pin all the way over on the left. It's going to be tough to get the 10 here. Right play, I'd say. Get yourself a sure 2, so he settles for a 9 box. And with Matt's spare and a 6 fill, that does put Dan down 7. Ryan, unfortunately, is going to have to settle for a 3 fill as he knocks out the back left triangle. Dan just off the head pin, but he's got some piece of wood that knocked out there, so he's left with a 1, 3, 10. Ryan punches out the half Worcester on his second. See if Dan can convert the spare here. Oof. Just off his mark, punches out the 3, so he's got the 110 for the 10. Ryan, unfortunately, bunny holes. He's going to hate that, as that 5 box is going to set him a little bit behind. As you can see right now through completed boxes, trailing by 7 and by 16 for the half. So he needs a mark to get back in this one. And Dan's struggling a little worse, down 13 to this point, down 23 and a half. Ryan's off his mark, but didn't really hurt him too badly. Looking at the 1-8. Dan, heavy on the head pin, take one of them. No. 4-6 split. Tough break. Oh, Ryan a little light. I'm sure he would have rather hit that a little more full to push the head pin back into it. 12:30 a.m. Sunday morning. Greg, where are you out of? Dan settles for one of them there. Sounds like you got to be over in like New Zealand or somewhere. That's a 10 box for Ryan, so he'll sit down, trailing 6. And Dan with a 9 box, he's going to be sitting down, trailing 14. So as I switch back to the first bowlers, you can see where the string stands with Ashlee and a 6-point lead over Ryan. Matt with a stronger 14-pin lead over Dan Castle to this point. I want to be on the first bowlers. I just wanted to show really quickly that we can take a look at the Australia. Awesome. Matt starts out the second half over there on lane 22, off to the left. No, Ashlee also to the left. Matt's got a little better lead with a 1-3-6. Ashlee's got pretty much the heart of the lane. Ooh, Matt's second ball just drifts away on him, and Ash came up a bit short. So he's still got the 1-3-6, and Ashlee's just looking at the head pin. So we'll see if either of them convert it. Oh, that's right. Matt's in there for a 9 box. Ashlee spot on the head pin for the 10. So Matt and Dan are in the D class of the ACST on the south side. Matt off to the right. Ashlee also off to the right. And Ashlee and Ryan are in the C class. And basically, the ACST bowlers are, for the most part, Matt looking for the spares. They're going to push the corner. No. Seven's hiding behind a piece of wood. Ash hit the head pin a little too light for that spare there. So she's got an ugly 2-4-8 to the left and the 10 over. Matt dead on the pin for the 10. Oh, and Ashlee has to settle for a tough 8. That was a pretty rough setup. Well, I'm glad that you're able to catch it here. The other good thing is more and more with the streamers that we have here for ACST and other bowling matches, as Matt's really on the head pin good there. And Ash says, I can do it one better. Is it going to go? She's got a wiggling 9, but the loose tooth refuses to fall out. Especially with people like Candlepin Bowling Network. They do a really good job of getting all of the matches uploaded to YouTube afterwards to help really build a catalog of bowling. Ashlee, absolutely spot on the wood. Takes out what would probably be considered an easy spare, but hey, it doesn't matter. Taylor picks up the single pin for another 10. So he's sitting at 86 through 8. Ashlee's at 80 plus through 8. But as you can see from the splits at the bottom, that's what they're going to have to go there. You too, Greg. It's awesome. Oh, there we go. I should have probably clipped the spares, but we're definitely stealing that strike. And Ashlee completely just got punished for a good ball. She was right on the head pin, and she's left with the 4, 8, 9, 10. An interesting piece of wood back there. We'll see if that doesn't find a way to push itself over and convert this into a spare. And that's it. Come on. Oh, man. That was really close. So I know that Candlepin's pretty much, northeastern New England here in the United States, up into the Canadian Maritimes. Were you over here at some point in time to get into liking Candlepin, or Matt's first ball on the strike? Nowhere where he needed that to be, or wanted that to be, I should say. Punches out the 4-8. Ashlee again on the head pin, and again, unfortunately, paying a price for it. I know Dan Castle, who's bowling here today, likes to call it a castle. Matt's second ball almost cleans them all up. Yeah. You got me, Jeff. Unfortunately, my stream title, I can't change it quickly. I have it baked in from when I was at Timber last week. That's why my first comment was trying to correct that. Oh, Ashlee with a beautiful 10. So, Ashlee with a 106. Matt Taylor with a 114. So, Ryan will need 60. And Dan will need 71 to tie the matches. Add 1 to get the win out of this. So, we'll move over. We got the second bowlers up there. Oh, come on. Let me not like you. Let me laugh at that while you pick on me, and I deserve every bit of it. Okay, Dan this time off to the left. I can't change the title of it. Ryan on the head pin gets the 5 to fall, so all he has is the triangle to the left. And again, the format of the ACST is that these two bowlers aren't actually bowling against each other. They're bowling against the people who had been previously up. Oh, Ryan with a tough break as the 4 wraps around the 7. Dan cleaned up a little bit. He's got a plank behind the 1, looking at the 1, 8, 9, 10. If he can hit the head pin, we'll see what happens. Nope. He just decided to move the wood aside anyways. And Ryan isn't able to pick up the 7 pin. Jeff's cheering on Ryan. I can't argue that. Yeah, Josh Daly actually does bowl in the ACST as well. He's in the A class. He does bowl out of the house that we're in right now, which is Ryan Family Amusements in Millis, Mass. Not Timber Lanes like some jerk setting up his stream said. But both bowlers are off the head pin. Castle's got the 4 horsemen to the left and the 10 pin over to the right with a piece of wood in front of it. Unfortunately, he's off to the left. Ryan's looking at the 1, 2, 6, 10. He wants to get right between them. Oh, kind of a little heavy on the head pin and punches it out. So it's tough. He's trailing in the match. He's going to need a few marks to get back into it. You kind of wonder if he wants to go for the 2 instead of the 3. Oh, Dan wishes he had that ball for his second as he converts a nice 10. Skull, thanks for picking up on me on Twitch there. I appreciate it. Happy Saturday to you too, buddy. Ryan settles for a 7. So, as you can see at the bottom of the scores, Dan's got his work cut out for him, having to kick out 55 here. And he's off to the left. And Ryan's got 44 to go in 3 boxes. But on the head pin, is it going to mix? Mix the wrong way. So a tough split for him as he leaves at 3-4. Dan's got the clump in the middle. So he's got the 1-3. Well, he took out the 3-5 and 9. So now he's got the 1-8 for a 10. Ryan was hoping to try to catch that wood probably and push it across to the left, but hit it straight on and drove it into the pit. So now he's got the 3-4 with no help. Dan looks like he's tight on that. Has to settle for an 8 box. Wow. Wow, wow. That was pretty. Let me snag that one. It's a 10, but it's a really pretty 10. Alrighty. So let's see if Dan can at least cut some into this deficit. That was a rough 4-7 pocket ball. There you go, Ryan. Push it. Push it. He moved the candy cane, but it refused to fall down. So he's sitting there looking at just a 5 pin with no help. Dan's got the 1, 2, 3, 6, so the front check mark. And he is off to the right, so just the 1, 2 to clean up for a 10. Ryan knew it when he let it go. He held that one a bit tight and missed the 5 pin to the left. So down at the bottom of the screen, you see the difference between them and their opponent through completed boxes in the string and through the complete string. So those are the match totals that they're going to have to try to chip away here. Both bowlers struggling and a little off their pace. Dan with a 76 through 9, Ryan with an 81 through 9. So Ryan still has a chance to win this match, but it would require 2 strikes and a 6 or better. Dan's on the head pin and gets a... Oh! All right, so we've got 2 ugly results here. Dan's looking at the half Worcester to the right and the 7 pin all the way over to the left. And Ryan's looking at one of our old favorites. Ooh! Dan gave it a hell of a run, but it didn't pick up the 7 pin. Ryan's looking at a spread eagle and bunny holes it. So now the pressure's on. You don't want to do that a second time and come up with a 4 box. And Dan settles for a 9 and an 85 string, so that will give Matt the win in string 1. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Wow. You know, you hope for 3. He took 9, so unfortunately he's going to fall short there. Just throw one down the gutter. Ashlee takes the first string. The balls, yeah. Well, honestly, the balls for Candlepin are usually between 2.4 and 2.7 ounces. And as the sport is not as popular as it was, usually the balls that you're going to find now are usually 2.7s. But there's a lot. There's a lot to really throwing a strike in Candlepin. It's not quite as simple as it seems. So as you can see here through the stats, I try to track how many balls hit the head pin on the first, how many bowlers hit the head pin on the first ball of each box, as Ashlee starts out the second string on the head pin, and they're still falling, but not helping her out much. Matt's almost identical, but he got a little better love out of it. So he works his way. He works his way out of the split. Ashlee trying to play the wood. We'll get it. Beautiful. And Matt will do it. So let's grab both of those as a pair of spares. So Both of these bowlers, again, they're not bowling against each other. They're bowling against the people that will come up in the second half. Ash a little off her mark. All right, do that. Do that because I'm not sitting straight on. Matt's also off his mark, but Ash gets a little better leave there. Matt gets a little better result. Oh, I'm sure she would have loved to have clipped the head pin, but now just has the 1-8 to clean up. Matt looking at the 1-2-4. Oh, it cut in front. That was rough. That shouldn't have been that way. That should have been in. My name is Micah. I also do bowl in the ACST. I'm down here in the south. I bowl in the Bs. As both bowlers have a 9-box here. And I got to get the stupid stats out of the way. That'll be nice, huh? So you can actually see what they're doing. A few too many buttons to click. Ashlee light on the pocket. Gets stuck with parallel pins. Matt's heavy on the pocket. Gets left with a 4-10 split. He's got some great wood set up for him. That looks like it could help carry him the ball over there to the 10 pin. Sorry, 4-10 split. Ashlee cleans up the spare. As does Matt. So it's like anything you can do, I can do better. I have to move this just slightly. Ashlee firing away on her spare. Oh, almost takes them all down. Matt, a little off the head pin, leaves the 4-horse to the right. Give her some artwork. Wow. And that's the double-edged sword. Matt with a great job running down the 4 horsemen. So once again for Matt, second time in this match. Put back together, back-to-back spares. Ashlee cleans up the 10. One of the beauties of Candlepin is fallen pins stay in the way. And oftentimes it helps, and oftentimes you hate it. Ash a little off the head pin, looking at the 1-2-4 to clean it up for a spare. Unfortunately for Matt, he is on the head pin heavy. He takes 6 for the spare. He's got the 2-4-7 to the left, the 10 all the way over on the right. Not really a lot of friendly wood to help him. And just misses the head pin and shoots through. Good to meet you too, Greg. I'm glad we can give you some live action here. Greg Gouillard is also here covering the same match. He is streaming it, I believe, to Candlepin Bowling. Oh, Matt, just off his target, but doesn't too bad cleaning it up as he takes out 2 out of 3. But Greg's got it there on their Facebook page, and I believe also streaming to their YouTube. I'm a little off center to give him the center shot for it. That's why my camera is just a little angled over the side. I've bowled 10 pin as well. I bowled duck pin a couple of times. I liked 10 pin. I grew up bowling Candlepin, and it's where my heart is. All right. Ryan Preus there on the head pin, drops down 8, as he's going to have to work hard to keep. Dan Castle gets his namesake here, leaving the 5-6-10. So Ryan's got a pretty friendly piece of wood there that might help him. I wasn't expecting him to go that way. Didn't quite go the way that he was hoping. Dan does a good job of at least taking out the 2, so now he's just got the 5 pin for the 10. All right. Ryan settles for the 10. Well, not really settling. Anytime you knock out and clean off your plate, that's a good thing in Candlepin. But yeah, I'd love to see Candlepin grow and kind of have a second life. That's really what got me back to it, and especially got me into doing streams of matches and tournaments and stuff like that, because again, growing up with it as a kid means a lot to me, and you know, it really is kind of a New England only sport. Well, and Canada, we can't rule them out, as Ryan runs down the 4-horse. And second ball, ouch, to the left, punches out the half Worcester. Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, it's kind of the reality of all of it, huh? Our bodies just don't hang in for us the way that we want. Dan settles for a disappointing 6. That has him down 10 to Matt already in this string. And the deficit in the match continues to grow. Currently sitting at 51. Ryan, that looks like that should have taken it all. And it wobbles the 5 pin and refuses to take it down. Dan, on the pocket. Much better recovery. Only has the 7 to clean up. So realistically, this should be a pair of spares. Ooh, I spoke too soon. Ryan's upset with himself for not picking up the 5 pin, which is the bowling alley's way of giving you the finger. Dan, unfortunately, lost his as well, so I jinxed them both. Ryan settles for the 9. And currently trails Ashlee by 4 through the string, and Dan's going to struggle a little more as Matt was on his couple of spares here. So he's down 17 through the completed boxes and finds himself having to throw 42 over the next 3 to even things up. Ryan, off his mark, punches out the half Worcester to the right. Dan comes all the way to the left and takes out the back triangle. I don't think I've watched like 10 pin in forever. Ryan finds the bunny hole. You'd think it's only like an 8-inch wide gap, and you're throwing roughly a 4.5-inch wide ball. It wouldn't be that easy to do, but you can. Dan's got the 1-5 left for a 10. Ryan absolutely stumped himself by shooting the bunny hole a second time, suffering through a 2 box, which is one of the greatest fears of punching out the half Worcester, is that you're going to do it 3 times. So that's going to set him back a ways. Let's see if he can get back on it here. So he finds himself down. Wow. We're going to grab that one because it's a weird way to get a start. And Dan, unfortunately, is on the head pin, and it does him no favors. So Dan knocks out the first 5 pins on the plate. He gets the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down and has to clean up the 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that's, you hope for the triangle. Oh, it was just off the 6. At that one, you kind of hope for the triangle and that you get someone to come and kick out, help you out there over on the side, but no such love for him. As I'll change that to a strike. That might have been there, Dan. Dan will settle for a 9 box. So the first bowlers are definitely off to the races here. Second bowlers are struggling, so we'll bring up the first pair.
Yeah, the old guys getting hit by the I know, I'm looking for that one.
As you hear Ryan walking by there, talking about the old guys getting beat up. It's good stuff. All right, let's get the string out of the way as Matt and Ashlee step up here to finish up the second string. Both of them in the lead, hoping that they can grow their leads. And Matt's getting a friendly roll in the back there, just the 1-3 for the spare. Ash a little shy of the head pin as the 4 horse off to the right and the 8 pin behind it. Oh, no. I'm sure Matt would like another shot at that. I do like 10 pin. I think part of the problems that I have with 10 pin is that, 300s, these perfect games, it's almost a given for bowlers now as Matt picks up the 10. There's never been a 300 thrown in Candlepin. And Candlepin, the scoring and the game itself is so difficult. We actually have a perfect game that's just defined by knocking down every pin. So every box is at least a 10 or better. So 10 spare strikes. And even those are uncommon. The highest string that has ever been thrown, I believe, is a 245. As Matt's up on the head pin, leading to 3-6. Ash with the 4 horse on the left and the sleeper behind it. Kind of exploded on her unusually. Left the 1 and the 7. As Matt, once again, clean plate special, takes the 10. Ash a little tight. We'll have to settle for an 8. So Ryan's strike will help bring him back into this match. So she's potentially in trouble if she doesn't throw the frustration on Matt's face as he punches out the half Worcester. And Ash, all the way over to the right, gets the back right triangle and the 8. So now she's got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7. Matt, good second ball, just off the head pin. He's got the 1, 4, 7, and 9 to clean up. Ashlee somehow turned this into a castle, the 4, 5, 7. And I normally probably wouldn't call it a castle. Matt settles for a 7. But because castle's bowling here, I feel, ooh! Ashlee almost gets the kick off the wall for the 5 pin. With Dan Castle bowling, I feel it's important to give him credit for it. It's his box. It's what he likes. Wow. Matt. Light on the head pin. Leaves a broken smile up there. Ash a little off the head pin. She's got the 1, 3, 6, 7. Matt's looking at the 3 and the 4. And then the 4, 7, 8 over to the left as he punches out the 4 and the 8. Not what he'd like. Ash, once again, leaves herself looking at a 1, 7 for a 10. Matt's down to the 3, 7, 10. Punches out the 3 solid. So he'll, oh, that's, well, you may have another Dan Castle. My name's a train wreck, so, you know, whether it's my first name or my last name, there's not a lot of them out there, period. Matt, a little frustrated with being off the head pin. He gets a little push on the 3, so now he's left with the 1, the 6, and the 8. Ash a little tight, but gets some friendly pins there. So she's left with the 1, 2, 4. A nice piece of wood that looks like it's lined up nicely between the 1 and the 2 that should push this into a spare if she hits the head pin. Oh, nice try, Matt. Oh, she's off her mark. Somehow manages to get the head pin out of that, but that's as far as it goes. Matt got a little stiffed on his play there, looking at the 8 pin for a 10. He's going to settle for a 9, but a 110. So Taylor so far with a 114 and a 110, opening up strong. Ashlee with a 103. So she's got a 106 and a 103 as we bring up the second string to show you where things stand. Ryan's fill here can really help get him back into this match, and another mark in the middle probably gives him a chance at winning the string. Dan's got a little more work cut out for him, but Matt going open in the second half does provide an opportunity for him to put a couple boxes together here and get himself back into it. Just showing the state of the match through completed boxes, well, for both bowlers. So he's got 96 pins to climb back to try to get total pins. And that's a good start, but no love. The wood falls off the lane. So he's looking at the 5 to 7 as Ryan's first ball on the strike is mixing well. I am not going to give him credit for hitting the head pin on that because it was tripped up by another pin. Take care, Greg. Thanks for hanging around. And Dan's a little short, takes out the 5, doesn't take out the 7. Ryan, absolutely what you want to do. When you get a strike, fill it with all 10. So he doesn't get the head pin, but he does get the spare, and that's all that matters. Let's see if Dan can pick up the single. Right on it. Those corner pins can be tricky. So Dan now trailing 23 through completed boxes, 57 for the string. So he's got a lot of work to do in these last 4. Ryan, this fill here will reverse the string for sure. Hey, John, thanks for popping by. Dan's on the head pin. His 3rd split in a row as he gets a wrap. Ryan back on the head pin. He's going to need some wood here. Gets an 8 on the spare. This time he's at the 5-10. Dan's got the diamond on the left, the 10 over to the right. It's just off the front pin, so takes out the back 2. He's got the 3, the 5, and the 10, which can look pretty. Ryan, oh, wow. Shaves the 5-7. Who needs wood? Beautiful spare by Ryan. He's really going to start to put the pressure on Ashlee now. Oh, Dan was trying for all 3. Going to have to settle for the 7 box. So he's down 50 for the string. He's down 79 for the match. He's got 3 boxes to go to try to climb back into it. Ryan has taken the lead in the string. The match, a little more work for him, but it's quite possible, having only been 16 down coming into this. Well, the good news is Dan is on the head pin without a split. He has the reverse check mark over to the left. Ryan trying to clear a pin out of the gutter. Unfortunately, knocks down a pin and he'll have to reset. So while that's up, I might as well bring up the stat. Nope, yep, he's polishing off his ball. So you can see where the match stands and everything like that through the first almost complete 2 strings. Get it out of the way so we can watch Ryan's fill here. A little tight, but in Millis they'll mix for you. So that's an 8 drop. So that has him now up 16 through completed boxes. Dan, come on! Wow, that's a rough break. Everything wrapped around the 5 pin. Came close to nudging it, and Ryan, all he has to do is pop one down the middle of the lane for a spare, and unfortunately misses his mark and the chance at 3 in a row. Castle with a 10 box, and Preus has to settle for a 9. But he's up 16. So technically, if he throws a 9 and an 8, this match will be all square. His next pin, actually I take it back, not his next pin. What did I miss? I missed my fill, that's why. So I'm off on my math. Dan's looking at the 1-7 and fails to get it. Ryan had a lemon drop off to left. Forgive me while I was fixing my score. I knew something wasn't right. Ryan comes back, gets everything but the 1 of the 10. Dan leaves the middle finger on the lane. So while Ryan has taken this string and has now built up a 10-point lead in the string, a 7 will give him the match lead. Dan Castle is in trouble, and he needs to throw a triple strike plus 1 for a tie. So unfortunately for Dan, this is absolutely massive string. But again, total pins matters, so that's good. A head pin hit. He's got the left wing. He really needs the mark here. Wow. Boom. That is absolutely a hammer of a strike. That's the way you want to throw it, right in the pocket. Oh, Dan just off his mark. Struggling a little bit here this morning. See if he can pick up these 2. So the match is definitely tipped towards Ryan's favor, as he's now sitting on a... Dan gets the 10. I'm trying to dodge Dan Esdale here, walking around. I pre-filled his mark, so now I'm on the hook if he doesn't do it. Just off the head pin. He's got the 4 horsemen to the left to run it down for the spare. I bet you he'd like that one back, as he does a good job of sniping out the 7 pin. 7 on the strike gives him a 130 string, which is great. Most importantly, that has swung the match in his favor. So after the first 2, Ryan is leading by 11, and Matt Taylor is leading Dan Castle by 50. So we're going to step up here, clean up my sheets, start off the 3rd string shortly. And again, the way that the ACST generally sets up for these double headers are the first bowler from each matchup bowl together. As Ashlee's on the head pin solid, finally gets the 7 pin to fall. So she's got a nice 9 drop. Matt's a little off his target, has to settle for the 1-3-6-9. Can Ashlee drill? Oh, she read it. I'm going to get my stats out of the way, which I've done twice in a row like an idiot. She gets the spare, but she tripped it forward. So probably not the exact way that she'd want it. Matt just needs the head pin for a 10 box to open this up, and I saw the head pin move to the left on him. So Matt's open in the first. Ashlee looking to fill her spare. Ball just never seemed to come up. Off to the right. Still a decent 6 fill as she leaves the 1, 3, 5, 6. There's a piece of wood in the middle of that there that looks like it should guarantee the 5 goes out. Matt's got the 1, 3, 6. There she goes. 2 in a row. 1, 3, 6, 7, 8. Oh! No love on the 8 pin. That was a hell of a ball trying for the spare, but just had no love getting off the 7 into the 8. And struggles picking up those 10s. Alrighty, so we'll see what Ashlee can do here on her second spare. She's trying to get back in control of her match. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Half Worcester to the left. Matt right back at it. That's going. Gets a little mixed late there. Picks up a strike. Ashlee hits the other half Worcester, but manages to get the 5 to fall. So she's left with what, I don't know, what do you call this, a teepee? She's got the 1, the 4-7, and the 6-10. And, oh, wow, beautiful. You know, usually when you see that, I definitely stole that for a clip. Usually when you see this shot, someone will punch out the head pin or whatever. She's already working on her next ball. Might as well watch the replay, it was better. She punches out the back triangle to the right. Matt's first ball on his strike, a little to the left, leaves him the 1, 3, 7, 10. Ash's second ball is on the head pin, but a little light. Matt settles for 8 on the strike, which really there's nothing wrong with that. That's a pretty good fill. So he's at 36 through 3. As Ashlee's at 38 through 3, looking for a little more here, and not where she wanted to be. And it's a pair of 8s. So through 4, Ashlee has 46, Matt has 44. As they try to set the yard posts for where their opponents have to catch them. Ash comes across the head pin. Wow, Matt Taylor again. Absolute hammer of a strike this time as he's in the pocket. And Ashlee picks up the spare. Jeez. Just when you thought it was going to be nice and calm, they're both hanging marks going into the second half. And I pre-filled Matt. So Matt's 54 plus 2 balls. Ash is 44 plus 1. We'll switch over to the second bowler scores. And as you can see down below, what they got to do to get back in there. Ryan starts out on the head pin, but pays the price for it. Dan let that one go. So he's going to reset himself and hopefully come back at this for a spare. Ryan right through the gap of the 2, 4, 10. Dan's back on, a little off his target. Punches out 4. Oh, well, the good news, Ryan, is it doesn't seem like the spare was there, so. Oh, I thought Dan had some. Oh! 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 The gate is down in Millis, which automatic scoring has its challenges. Both Matt, his opponent, and Ryan, who is not his opponent, went to correct his score to a 10 because I agree with that. I really do. You know, automatic scoring, when they decide to reset for you, it's frustrating. Bowlers used to have to wait and push the button before the gate would come down and clean things up. Both bowlers dropping 4, both bowlers leaving the 4 horsemen to the left. The difference between it was Ryan had the 9 standing with a 10. Dan has the 8 standing with a 10. Ryan got everything but the head pin. Dan's ball just misses drifting into the head pin. He's looking at the 1-7-10 to clean it up for a 10. Dead on by Ryan. Let's see if Dan can match it. A little harder with the 1-7-10. Well, I get the feeling that that ball was a bit of a drop for him, but great result as he manages to bounce off the wood in front of the 10 to roll over there and take out the 7. So a great 9 box out of what could have been trouble. Ryan's on the head pin light, and a late push of the 5 and the 8 leaves him just a 7 pin for a spare. Dan a little tight there, looking at the 1-3-6-8 as Ryan absolutely clips that 7 pin, sends it flying for a spare, which will bring him back in his match. Dan's obviously having some challenge, just holding on to the ball, so that one dropped and got away from him. At the moment, through completed boxes, Ryan's trailing by 9, but he is working on a spare. Oh, no love for Dan there as he punches out 1, settling for a 7 box. Hopefully he can get his grip figured out as Ryan steps up here. Dan's trailing Matt by 10 through completed boxes. Ryan, is he going to trip that corner? Doesn't seem it. Dan just a little short, but is it going to come up the ladder? No. So Ryan with a 6 fill, as he has the reverse check mark on the left. And despite missing it, the wood almost made that happen. 7 gets touched but doesn't go. There we go. Dan getting himself a much needed spare. Ryan picks up the 10. So he's trailing Ashlee by 1, but obviously both Dan and Ryan are facing marks by their opponent. So Matt had thrown the strike, Ashlee had thrown the spare. So they're going to want a mark to keep pace. Ryan's on the head pin. Wood kind of stopped that from cleaning up. A great first ball by Dan with a roller. Looks like it's just going to be a 6 fill for him. Ryan has, unfortunately, got the 6, the 7, and the 10 for his split. Gives it the ride with the wood. He had the pin helicoptering, but it didn't get there for him. Oh, Dan just off picking up the 2nd spare in a row, so. Looks like Ashlee and Matt are going to find themselves in the driver's seat. Ryan taking a 9 in his last box, trailing by 2+ in the string. Nice ball, Dan. I bet you would have liked that 1 before. So Dan picks up the last 2. Finds himself at 52 for a half, also trailing by 2+ the fill. So we'll switch over to the second bowlers here. Take a look at the stats real quick. Through completed boxes, through halfway through the match, Matt is leading his match by 52 pins, Ryan his by 9. That's why they give you 2 balls. Matt's first ball really tight. I really can't explain the kind of bad luck that Ashlee just got there. She basically knocked out the 1-2-3 and the 8-9. Matt comes back great for all but the 2 pin. As he takes 9 on the strike. Ashlee takes out the 2 on the left. Matt's going to settle for a 9 box. Ooh, she had a nice little spinner going there, but didn't come forward enough to take out the 5. So they both take a couple of 9 boxes as they start out the second half. All right, Matt's a little off his mark, but he's got the 4 horsemen to the left with the 9 and the 10. I think Ashlee just really wanted to throw that same ball again. And she's over to the right. She takes out the right wing, flips over to the left, and takes out the 4-7. Matt Does a great job of hitting the 4 horsemen, but no love off of the wall. So he's got the 9 and the 10 still to stand. Ash just a little off the head pin. Left with a 1-9 to clean up. So a couple of tough spots here for pins. Matt at least makes sure he gets one of them for a 9 box. And Ashlee, unfortunately, not as lucky. Leaves 2 standing, has to settle for an 8. So the doors are open so far. Oh, Matt's off the head pin. I'm not going to give him that one. But a piece of wood rolls forward, takes out the head pin for him. Ashlee also on the head pin. Oh! We'll take that one. They fall backwards. She takes the strike. Matt will have a split. But it's not a head. Oh, and he's frustrated. I heard the stomp. I won't give him the head pin and the split because it wasn't the ball that hit the head pin directly. It was a pin that came forward and took it down. Slows himself down. Gets angry with himself because he knows that was a spare that he left on the table, but at least he cleans it up for a 10. It's hard when it comes to Candlepin bowling. You know, you have to really just quickly forget your last ball before it ruins your next one. All right, Matt's back on the head pin. As Ash's first ball in the spare is good for 4. Matt's got a 2-1 split to the left, so the 2, 4, 6. Ashlee's got the 4 horse to the right, and then the 7, 8 off to the left. Let's see if she can clean this up. There's a nice piece of wood. Wow, close. But the 8 pin stays standing. It looked like a piece of wood might come off the wall to get it, but no such luck. Matt just on the inside of the pin, settles for an 8 as Ashlee drills hers for a 10. So with 1 box to go, Matt sitting at 99, Ashlee sitting at 107. Matt currently at a 47 pin gap between him and Dan. Oh! His 3rd strike of the string. This one coming, and Ashlee also on the head pin, but pays the price for it. She's got the 5-10. She's got a couple of pieces of wood there in front of the 5 that might help her kick over to the 10. Oh, and it does. That was pretty. All right. So they're lighting it up here in the 10th. Matt's got 2 bonus balls, the first of which beautifully on the head pin. Wraps around, leaves a triangle to the left. Ash is spot on. Matt settles for 2 out of 3.
122 in the bird. I love that one.
All right, so Matt with his strike 9 comes in at 118. Ashlee with her spare 5 makes it 122. I'm not quite sure what Dan Esdale and Ryan were laughing about. I don't think they were picking on Ashlee's 5 fill, but that's fair. You can pick on your own all day long. That's me snapping to make sure that mic's alive. So we'll move over to the second bowlers here. Ryan and Dan stepping up. All right, Dan with the 1, 3, 9, 10 left. Let's see what Ryan can do. Oh, jeez. So Ryan's solid on the head pin. Actually, doesn't even get the full spread eagle. He just punches out the 1, the 5, and the 8. Dan's back at it, and is it? Wow. That's about as loose as a tooth gets without coming out. Come on! Oh, wow. Hell of a bid by Ryan, leaving just the 3 pin. So this should be a pair of 10s and a pair of really close. No, I jinxed Dan. And a pair of really close spares on some pretty fun leaves. All right, so at the moment, Dan needs 58 in the last 4 boxes to take the string. Ryan needs 59. So it's pretty close. Ashlee has a pair of marks up ahead of him for Ryan to work at. And obviously Matt had the strike in the 10th for Dan to have to deal with. So if they can get things going here, they'll be in good shape. Dan's a little out to the right. Ryan's half Worcester on the left. So Dan took out the 3-2, leaving himself the 1, 2, 5, 8, 9 in the middle. So a good ball down the heart should take this out. Hey, Paul, thanks for dropping by. I love when people chat on our streams. Ryan a little shy of the head pin. Dan a little shy of the head pin as well. So Dan's got the 1-2-5-8 to clean up. Ryan with the 1-4-7. Ooh, Dan misses everything. So this hole's getting a little bigger. Wow. Ryan's ball kind of hit the head pin and the piece of wood behind it and then just took a nap. So he'll have to settle for an 8. A couple of tough boxes for these two. With 3 to go, Dan's at 67 through 7. Ryan at 72 through 7. Dan's unfortunately looking at a spread eagle plus the 10 pin down. Ryan comes across the head pin, drills out the left and the 10, so he's got the 1-3-6-9. See if Dan can make something out of this. Well, he takes out the left wing, but the wood doesn't come rolling out of the gutter for him. Ryan took a little off it, but looks like it didn't come up enough to take the head pin out for him. So the lane's giving him the finger. We'll see if he can fight it off. Dan off his mark, settles for an 8. So he's down 16 in the string. Ryan does shave the head pin. So up against Ashlee's heavy strike. And his sensor's having some issues on his lane. So I want to flag the previous string. I want to check the previous string later on to see if that was a spare 8 or a spare 5, and the score just didn't pick it up right. But obviously I need to keep my eyes on the scoring on 21. Dan throws in the 9th box on the head pin and baby triangle in the right. And a lemon drop by Ryan there. So if Paul Grant's watching, you can stalk him. See if you can get that $1 donation for Candlepins for Cancer. Oh, the ball didn't come back for Dan. I know he's going to be frustrated by that. He misses a spare opportunity. Ryan for this. Ryan, no, he had the 1-4-7. Now he has the 1-2-7 to clean up for a 10. Well, the good news for Dan is it might not have been there as he punches out the 6 and leaves the 9 for a 9 box. Ryan this time runs it down beautifully. So the 1, the 2, the 7 cleaned up for a 10. As Dan Esdale runs up into the back of the pits to do some maintenance. Dan just off his mark, leaves the 1-2-4-8. And then the 6-10. Ryan's on the head pin. Wow, that's a fortuitous piece of wood there. So he gets a plank between the 4-5 and the 7-8 behind it. So it looks like it's going to give him some help of turning this into a spare. And the pin went around off the wall, and it looked like between the 6-10. So he got shafted out of a spare there. Hopefully picks up the 10 for a 94. We'll see if Ryan can convert this spare. Oh, he lifted it. He lifted it. He's frustrated with himself on that, as obviously it gives Ashlee the string. Dan's going to settle for the 8 and a 92 box as the... Yep. Ryan sees it right there. Settles for the 10. And that's just tough. So Ashlee beats Ryan 122 to 102. Matt over Dan 118 to 92. I'm going to move over to the 4th string here, and as you see through 3, Ashlee has a 9-pin lead in the match, and Matt is out in front by 76. So Dan's got his work cut out for him here in the second half. Well, the last 2 strings. But a couple of bowlers here early this morning at Ryan Family Amusements in Millis. I know they've got the Pro Series coming here for a big tournament this afternoon. Ashlee starts out the 2nd string off the head, leaving the 1-2-4-5. Matt, he's on it, but gets the reverse check mark over to the right. Ashlee just off the mark that she wanted, probably a little more off the mark than I thought. Beautiful cover by Matt as he's right into the 3-6 pocket to crush the check mark. Ashlee would probably have preferred that to have been a spare, but she'll settle for the 10. So at the bottom of the screen, as you can see, Ashlee's bowling against Ryan. She has a 19-point lead in the match. She has a 10-point lead in the string. And then since Ryan hasn't thrown any boxes in this match, there's no delta for completed boxes. On the other side, Matt Taylor, currently with a commanding 86-pin lead in the match. He has a 10-pin lead from the first box. And that's going to increase to 16 as he does it again. Reverse check mark on the right. Let's see if he can go for 2 in a row. Ashlee struggling a little here. She got the triangle on the back on the right. Matt's second ball. Oh, just drifted a little to the right on him. So she's knocked out the back right triangle, the 4-7 on the left, and once again just has to crush the middle, and she is not going to like that result. So settles for a 5 box. Looks like her arm's bothering her a bit today. Matt didn't get the 3 pin, so he's got a 9. So 25 through 2 for Matt, 15 through 2 for Ashlee. Again, these bowlers will bowl 5 at a time, and then their opponents will come up and bowl 5. Ashlee's on the head pin, but the ball kind of wrapped around the outside. So she's got the diamond to the left, 10 pin over to the right. Matt punched out the half Worcester left plus the 5. A pretty pickup by Ashlee as she gets the diamond, and a flyer goes out and takes out the 10 pin. Matt does a great job coming back from the half Worcester, but unfortunately it doesn't take down the 6-10 for him. So Ash sitting at 25 plus a ball. Whoa! I'm telling you, wood is a wonderful and an awful thing in Candlepin. It's great when it helps you pick up the extra pins, but boy, when it deflects stuff like that, it's absolutely mind-boggling. Wow. Ashlee with a head pin hit, but a little light. She's left with a 4, 5, 6, 10. There's a piece of wood between the 5 and the 6. I'm sure she's going to go at it. You would think that would take out the 4, the 5, and the 10, but took out the 5 and the 6. I'm sorry, the 5, 6, and 10. Took out the 5 and the 6, then rolled over and got the 4. Matt's getting back on target after the 1. Ash sneaks behind the wood to pick up her 10. Matt, great job on the head pin to finish off a sloppy start for a 10 box. So 41 for Ashlee, 43 for Matt through 4. And they'll see if they can set something up here to finish up the first half. Oh, another lemon drop there as the 4-point pops out. Matt, heavy on the head pin, looked like a great ball. You figured this out. A wonderful pocket shot. Ashlee manages to nip out the 8 behind the 4-pin there. Matt is stuck with a 4-7. Oh, no. Oh. He probably wanted to try to catch that piece of wood in front of the 4 and the 7, try to kick it over to the 9-10, but held tight. Excuse me. Ash, another frustrating box, another 4 box. And Matt will bunny hole to end it up with an 8. So Matt with the 51 half, Ashlee unfortunately sitting at 45. We'll cut over to the second bowlers. Quickly show the match state in its full. I'm sure Ashlee's not happy with throwing both the 5 and the 4 box in that half, but 45 half, all things considered, could be much, much worse. So Ryan, who is bowling against Ashlee, is up on 22 on the right. Dan Castle, who is bowling against Matt, over here on 21 on the left. Beautiful ball on the head pin. Has a couple of pieces of wood lined up great against the 6-10. Ryan's second ball absolutely explodes to pick up the spare. Wow. Everybody's in shock here as the wood just absolutely ruins Dan's fun. Should have been an easy spare, but they just kind of bounced forward on him, which gets tricky when you have multiple pieces of wood right up against each other. Shooter right on that 9-pin back there. So Ryan's going to step up to fill his spare. We'll see how that goes. Dan hopefully can shake off a frustrating encounter with the wood. 4-pin falls down on its own, so Dan's going to reset the rack. I see Paul Newman was watching the stream for a bit. I think he is probably about halfway through his ACST matches for the season. Ryan misses the head pin, but manages to get everything but the 10-pin out of that. Dan, off his mark to the right, takes out the triangle. So between the two of them, they probably would have had a strike. Well, let's see if Ryan can shoot the corner. Oh! Dripped into the gutter. Capped the wood in the gutter, but thankfully he's got one more shot at the 10-pin for a 10. Dan holds a little tight here to the left, so he's got the 1, 3, 4, 7 to clean up. Ryan's second shot at the off corner is better. He picks up the 10-pin for a 10. Oh, wow. A great shot by Dan, but the head pin just wrapped around the 3. So he'll settle for a 9, but that's a heck of an out. 2 words up. The 4-pin falls again. 2 words that I think are like just constantly used by Candlepin bowlers are bid for a spare that doesn't go and out to finish a box that isn't a 10. Or it is a 10. We got to come up with more words. So if anybody's got some good ideas to use instead of bid and out, we're all ears. All right. Ryan's got a 29-15 lead through 2 boxes. He's off the head pin, leaving the 1, 3, 7, 8. And once again is going to start out with that right triangle down. He's trailing Matt by 6, but looking to claw his way back here. Ryan cleans up everything but the head pin. That looks good for Dan. Oh, I spoke too soon as he punches basically what would have been the spread eagle out of that mess. Ryan hits the 9. Dan's got the 2, 4, 7, and then the 3 pin. So hopefully he can get at least 9 out of this. Ooh, no, that's not what he wanted at all. Those will not count as the ball went in and came back from the gutters. As, you know, he threw the ball in the gutter and picked up a couple of pins. I'm looking over here to the left and a couple of young bowlers using bumpers. I'm one of those people that feel that, you know, the bumpers will help kids score better, but, so, oh, Ryan right down the heart punches out the spread eagle. You know, sometimes it's better to learn without the bumpers and just struggle and suffer and get better. Dan has... Ryan does everything but bunny hole as he shaves out the 2. Dan's got the 4 horse to the right, 7 and 8 behind to the left. No wood. And a drop, unfortunately. So takes out the 10. He's looking at a rough finish here. Ryan does a good job of taking out the right wing. Unfortunately, that's going to be an 8 box. So his lead on Ashlee, is, for this string at least, is down to 5. And Dan, hoping to get something out of there, unfortunately, has to deal with a 6. So he's trailing Matt by 12 through completed boxes so far. Ashlee only had a 4 in her 5th box. Matt only had an 8, so both of these bowlers have a chance to close the gap. Dan, unfortunately, still struggling. The ball just dropping out on him as he lemon drops the 6 pin. I think Ryan's trying to take it easy on Ashlee as he rips that 1 over into the 7. A lot of sticks still standing. Whew. And unfortunately, bunny holes the lemon drop. And Ryan will punch out the half Worcester. That'll be good for 7. A 53.5, so he's got an 8-pin lead. As Ashlee will be stepping back up to finish up her string. All right, Dan, much better ball there. All things considered, getting an 8 out of that box is solid. But he is trailing 12 in the match, so, sorry, 12 in the string. And 88 currently in the whole match. It's easy for you guys. You're able to look down in that little corner of the string and see those things there the whole time. Matt comes across the head pin, punching up the 2-4-8. Ash looks like she's going to tickle the head pin. She's going to get a corner. Woo. That is a split, and that is a dry split as she's got the 3, the 7, and the 10. She's on the 3. Wow, gets it to kick off the 10. The 10 hits the wall and comes out, but nowhere near with enough oomph to get over to the 7. Matt's off his target a couple of times. We'll settle for a 7. And Ashlee will settle for a 9. Frustration creeping in a bit here. I'm sure they'd like to throw better, but you know, it's not an easy sport. He's a little off to the right this time. Ashlee with a much better head pin hit. Gets everything but the 6 and the 10. Once again, though, no wood to help her. Matt's second ball. Right on mark, but probably a little light. Oh, no, Ashlee's going to... Yeah. She was off her line, managed to get the 10. So Matt's got the 6-10 to clean up. That one didn't go there. So it's another frustrating 8-box for Matt. Ashlee spot on for the 10. So with Ashlee at 64 through 7, Matt 66 through 7, both polars probably a little behind their average pace. So there may be a little bit of pressing coming on in these last 3 boxes to throw a mark. Once again, oh, there you go. Ashlee has been on the pocket all of this half, finally pays off with a strike. Matt looking for the spare. Gets things dancing real well when it all settles. He's left with a 6 and the 8. So hopefully he can clear at least one of these guys out. Unfortunately, it's a field goal, so he'll settle for an 8 and a 74 pace through 8. So he definitely wants to pick it up a bit here. He doesn't want to leave any openings for Dan to come back and steal points away from him. Just to the left of the head pin, leaving the 1-2-6. Ash looking for the double. A little light. So she washes out the left wing, the 2-4-7, takes out the 10. So 1, 3, 5, 6, 8, 9. Oh, rough break for Matt as he chops out the head pin. Ash comes back, maybe a little too far across the head pin, but a good 8 fill on the strike, leaving just the 5-8. Oh, Matt really struggling with his aim in this half. Ashlee also not there. So Matt settles for his 3rd 8 in a row. Dan's got a chance here. Ashlee takes the 9 as she chips out one of the 2. I think Matt threw that ball a little harder than usual in frustration and missed his mark, and so did Ashlee. So Matt's got a bunch in the middle there. Same thing that Ashlee had last time for a spare. And Ashlee's got everything but the back right triangle. Get some pins, Matt. Ooh. Pops out the half Worcester on the left. So she's got some trouble here to break 100. Matt finishes with a 7 and an 89. Great run by, yep. Tough string, man, tough string. Ashlee dances things around and comes up 1 pin short. Settles for the 99. So Ryan stepping up with his 8-pin lead, only needs 46 to take this, well, 47 to take the string. Dan's got an opening here. He needs 51 to win this string. So we'll cut over to the second bowlers, and as Dan steps up to throw, I'll get these stats out of the way too. Is it going to go? All right. Oh, he saved the split. He's left with the right wing, so 3-6-10, sorry. Ryan, heavy on the head pin, carries everything but the 10. Sure, Dan is thinking about the spare here. Oh, it got away from him. Everything but the 3. Ryan right on the line this time. Picks up the 10 pin on his second ball instead of his third. Dan struggles and leaves the 9. So he's trailing by 10. Matt left, 9 pins on the plate over the last 3 boxes, so he will need a mark. He needed a mark anyways to win. Now he needs a mark, even just a tie. And that one is interesting as he slides out the 4 and 7 and somehow gets the 9. Ryan's fill. Boom. Wow. Absolute crushing strike again. Puts the strike on the spare. Dan's second ball, right on target, leaves everything but the 2-5. The ACST is definitely growing. They obviously added another 32 bowlers to the league this season. And as far as we are concerned, the sky's the limit. I know there's been a lot of interest through a heavy amount of streaming and score reporting and everything so far this season. So good luck, we can continue to grow this. Danny Finn does a great job of really coordinating and running this league. As Dan has 2 loose teeth there, the 5 and the 7 both wiggling. Neither's going to go down. He's got some wood, but this is always tricky. Ryan looking for the double. Oh, that kick's going to get it. Are you kidding? Oh, it took its time. Wow. Double strike after the spare as Ryan is really putting things together now. Dan with no love on the kick. Let's change some artwork here as we got the double. Poor Dan couldn't get that 7 pin to get kicked. He does take it for a 10. Time is running out for Dan. He's trailing 7 in the string through completed boxes. He needs 23 in these last 2 boxes to take the string. Ryan is just at this point in time 103 plus a bonus ball plus 2 bonus balls. So, oh, Dan off his mark again, knocking out the 4, 8, 9, and 10. Frustrated with himself. Ryan looking for the triple. Just off to the right. 1, 2, 4, 9, 10, but that's 25 on that first box. Now as he goes to fill the second strike here. Well, that was interesting. He missed the head pin, but managed to take out the rest of them. So a 9 on the second strike. He's sitting at 126, maybe 127 if he clears this. Dan with a great 10. He's down to his last chance. Ryan continues to have a perfect half as he picks up the 10. So 127 with a box to go, and he's really taking the match back away from Ashlee. He is plus 19 to the ball. Dan a little closer to the head pin, but a rough result. He takes out the wing to the left and the 6 over to the right. Ryan lets that ball come up nicely. Back on the head pin, everything but the 4, and a great, great setup for an easy spare here. Dan knows he needs this. Oh, no love driving into the 5 pin. Takes away the outside wall, stuck with a 5-8. Ryan absolutely kills the duck, takes the easy spare, so he's at 137 plus a ball. Dan, frustratingly, will lose this string 86 to 89 and finds himself down 79 in the match with 1 string to go. Another 6 for Ryan makes it 143. A heck of a string for Ryan as he takes a pretty solid lead here in this match, plus 35. We'll look at that as I set up for string 5. So far through the whole series, I'll get the stats out of the way. Ashlee starting off the 5th and final string on the head pin with the baby split, the 3-10 to the right. Matt's back on the head pin. Not the best of results there as he gets stuck with the 2-5-7-10. So both of them with a pair of splits. Oh no, I take it back. Ashlee finally got that corner to drop, so I'm going to take that away. Unfortunately, she misses. She misses the 3-pin. Matt, I think he was a little off his target, kicked things forward. Ashlee settles for a 9, but Matt didn't get anything to carry over to the 10-pin for him. Matt absolutely on that to clean up for the 10, which is a good comeback given the rough start of that split. Ashlee firing away. Unfortunately off the head pin and gets what I like to call a wash. Matt with a great ball on the head pin. Are these all gonna come together? No. Ashlee gets what I call a wash when you take out a whole row of pins like that. So in this case, the 2-5-9. Second ball struggles the other way as she punches out the 10. We'll give Matt that one as he pops off the cap to clear up the 2-4-8. Ashlee is going to settle for a 7 box here. Alrighty, Ashlee's right back at it on the head pin, but this time the split's not going to go away. Matt misses the head pin, but a solid 6 fill. He's got the 1, 2, 4, and 8. Ashlee shooting at a much harder 6, 7, 10 with no wood. And field goals it as she's just off the 6th. Matt is going to make it hurt. Make it really hard for Dan to come back and steal any points in this match as he picks up that spare. Ashlee hops her way through the gutter and settles for a second consecutive 7 box. So through the first 4 strings, Ashlee and Ryan both have 2 wins each. And Matt so far has taken everything. Ash off the head pin is left with the 1, the 2, and the 10 for a spare. And Matt, unfortunately, way off to the right, only picks up 2 on his. So he's at 38 through 3. And a solid second ball. Just has the 1, the 3, and the 9 to clean up. Ash looking at the 1 and the 10. And she's going to settle for an 8. I don't think there's enough time for me to get... Oh, Matt's just off of it. He's going to settle for an 8 box. So 46 through 4 for Matt, and Ashlee continues to struggle along with a 31 through 4. Ouch. That one held on. She knocks out the 6 and the 10. Matt just off his line. He's got the 1 and the 3 up front. Piece of wood that could be a pain on him. The 7 and the 10 behind. So where you would normally want to throw this ball, that piece of wood might come into play. Oh, perfect. Perfect. He managed to avoid it. Picks up his 3rd spare, leaves 1 hanging. And Ashlee, unfortunately, is going to have to settle for an 8 box. And a 39.5. So certainly not something she's happy with. Looks like her shoulder's really bothering her. Dan was hoping probably to come back and at least steal 2 points, and he's going to have to bowl his heart out to get there. Matt is sitting at 56 plus a ball. Ryan with his lead in the match. You know, Ashlee threw a 39 first half, which gives him some breathing room. Wouch. That's gonna leave a mark, literally. Ryan opens up with a really solid strike. Dan, lemon drops over to the left, punching out the 4-pin. then off to the right of the head pin. Going to have a tricky pickup here for a 10. He's got the 1, the 2, the 8 in line, and then the 6 and 10 over to the right. See what happens here. Uh-oh. Ooh, that ball came up a little late, but at least it came up. He picks out the 1 and the 6. Has to settle for a 7 opener. Let's see if Ryan can double up again. On the head pin, kind of wrapped and flew around, but he got the late drop of the 10, so he's got the diamond off to the right. And unfortunately with the drop, takes out the back right triangle. Ryan looking to finish the fill, unfortunately lets that one go. So he's gonna settle for 6 on the strike. See if Dan can get back on the head pin here. Looks good. Come on, there you go. He had to fight really hard for that spare. Harder than it should have been. Ryan, a little to the right, leaves the 3 and the 5 for an 8 box. All righty. So Ryan with a quick 8-pin lead in his match. On the head pin. Piece of wood comes dropping for 2. Dan is on the head pin with a decent fill, but a bad result as he's left looking at the 4, 7, 10. There's a piece of wood that's kind of, you might want to try to tip it off the end to see if it works for you. He does! Oh! He got the 4 and the 7, and we thought he might have a shot at the 10, but it wasn't there. Ryan misses the 3-pin for a 9 box, but still with Ashlee's struggle, he's plus 10 in the string. Dan is right on the 10-pin for a 10 box. So only trailing 4. He's still going to need a mark somewhere in the next 2 to stay tight because Taylor does have a spare in the 5th. Ryan comes all the way over to the left, taking out the back left triangle. I think Dan would have liked that ball to come up a little more. He's off the head, leaving the 1, 2, 4, 8, and the 10 over to the side. Ryan's second ball, heavy on the head pin, trips them all. So he managed to come back after dropping that triangle for his second mark of the string. See if Dan can get it. No, didn't quite get over there. Took out the 2, 4. Now has the 1, 8, 10 to convert for a 10 bucks. I hear Justin Waters over there talking in the background. Oh, Dan's ball curled just a bit there. Matches Taylor's 8, so he's trailing by 4 through completed boxes, but he's facing a spare. So there's work cut out for him to stay in here still. Ryan's working on his spare. And a balk. A couple of pins fell down on Dan's setup, kind of making Ryan freeze, so he didn't. Must have distracted him while he was going. We called the balk. Oh, Ryan's is filling up pretty good this morning. I see it probably another 6 or 7 lanes in use. Obviously, Hurricane Lee coming through. Kind of. Oh, after the delay, taking out just the 6-10 on the spare is not the way that Ryan wanted to go. Dan off the head pin. Knocks out the 3, the 6, and the 9. So he's got the 1, 5. Everything to left. Great second ball by Ryan. Dan also has the 10 pin over to the right. Dan gets everything but the 4. Ryan gets everything but the 4. Dan lets that one sweep. So he's left with the 1, the 2, and the 10 to clean up. Great pin by Ryan as he takes it to 55 for the half and a 16-pin lead in the string, stretching his match lead to better than 50. Dan, oh! A great ball, but no love on the 10-pin. So 51 half for Dan, has him down 5 plus the ball. Ryan with a 16-pin 16 pin lead now shortened to peed in the match. And as you can see how the bowlers are going, if it ended right now, Matt would have taken all 5 strings, and he's on the head pin heavy for a 6 fill. Unfortunately for him, he leaves a tough split. And Ashlee says, I can leave a split too. She punches out the spread eagle. So the Nixon for Taylor as he takes out the 6-10. And Ashlee right through the nose. So Matt looking to come out with a 10 here. Absolutely. Drills it. Ooh. Ashlee throws 3 perfect balls down the middle, unfortunately, and he's going to have to look at a 4 box as she punches the spread eagle and leaves it at that. Matt comes across the head pin, leaves himself the spread eagle to the right, the 8 pin behind it. Ashlee, the frustration on her face as she punches out the half Worcester to the left. Ouch. Matt straight on the head pin and gets just that. Ashlee does a good job coming back. Nothing but the 7-10 left, but that's rough. Oh, Matt's going to be frustrated with that. Hang in there, Bat. Shake it off. Settles for the 6, and Ashlee's going to settle for an 8. Taylor heavy on the head pin, but it's a rotten leave. Got the back triangle, the 6, 9, 10, but also an 8 pin. And once again, if he's going to throw a split, Ashlee's like, I can do that too. She's looking at the 5, 7, 8, and the 10. Going for the wood. Unfortunately, drives it straight back, taking out the 5, 8. So for the second time, she's looking at the 7, 10 with her 3rd ball. Ouch. Matt punches the 6 out. Oh. Ashlee had a shot with the wood, hits the cap, which might not have been the word, not right where she wanted, but pretty damn close, and her ball hops around the 7. There we go. Wow. No love taking over the corner. Crushes the pocket, leaves everything but the 10. Matt's got the 1, 2, 7, 8, 9. Gets it just a little light. Nice job, Ashlee, as she cleans up the spare. Matt had about as good of a comeback ball as you can, looking at just the 2 and the 7. That's just a piece of wood between them, and that does him no good. He's going to have to settle for an 8, and he's sitting at 93 with a box to go. Poor Ashlee has had a tough time in this string. She's at 69 plus with this box to go. And that lemon drop is not going to make her happy. So she is at 70. Matt was way over to the left, knocking out the 4-7. Throwing in anger. Oh! As Ashlee's slowly going to chip him out 1 pin at a time. Following up, knocking out the 6 with the 3. Taylor's got the 4 horse off to the right. 3 out of the 4. He'll settle for a 102 string. And Ashlee is going to want to forget about this one completely as she ends up with a 73. So, as you can see here, Ryan needs all of 19 pins to take the string. Dan's got a chance. He needs 52. The match splits are a little heavier. Ryan already has won the match and will get 4 bonus points for that. Dan, I'm pretty sure, is not going to be able to throw 131 in this half, but you never know. But that's what he would need to come back and get it from Matt. A hard ball just to the left, 4 horsemen to the right, the 8 pin behind. Ryan's a little off his mark, and I will be right back. You know, it's always nice when you walk away and you come back and you see just an absolute crushing hammer ball. And Dan is going to finally pick up a spare. It's all right. So what do we have here? We got a spare. Head strike. Get rid of that 6. And we'll be back in action.
How are you? Good, how are you?
Good, man. Feel free to talk. Castle on the spare. Unfortunately, he's looking at bedposts, but for him right now, pins are more important. Ryan back on the head pin, gets 6 on his first ball, leaves the diamond off to the left. And I'm pretty sure that was a channel ball. Oh, Ryan hits the diamond hard. Unfortunately, leaves the 6 pin. Dan's going to need all the pins he can get down the stretch. Nope. Unfortunately, that one touched the wood in the gutter. Won't do him any good. Ryan manages to make that Candlepin look skinny. He's going to settle for a 9. Dan Esdale, also an ACST bowler in the A down here in the south. A lot of bowlers out of this house in Millis. All right, Dan's first ball. He's going to need 16 in these next 2. He's making it hard for himself. Ryan light on the head pin on the cross side, looking at the 7, 9, and 10. There's some interesting wood. Is it going to stay on? Nope, it got out of there. So I think at this point in time, you're looking at kind of hitting the 9 and 10, the wood over there, and see if you get a kick to the 7. It was good. Cleaned out the 9 and the 10, but didn't quite hop over as far as it needed. Dan looking to get the 1, 3, 6 because he needs every pin he can get. 2 out of 3 ain't bad right now. Ryan's in the gutter, so even if that had gone down, it wouldn't have counted. And with just 1 box to go, Castle needs a 7 to steal 2 points away from Matt Taylor. And obviously, at this point in time, it's all but done. Ryan will take the string and the match 10-4 against Ashlee Breton. Ryan on the head pin yet again. The 5 pin falls, and then the 4 pin falls. So now he's just got a 7 pin, and at this point in time, he's just bowling to make himself feel good. There you go, Dan. He's 1 pin. Ryan, all right, we'll give it to him. Hits the cap, bounces off the wall, picks up the spare. So he's at 122 plus the ball. And Dan Castle manages to hit 3 out of the 4 on the diamond to at least take 1 string, and he's not going to leave here empty-handed. It's a 12-2 split against him as Matt takes 12 and Matt takes 1. Ryan's fill all but 1. So a 131. Wow, a heck of a day of bowling. Let's show you where that one ended up. Ashlee, obviously, with a tough string, falls 58 pins behind Ryan's 131. Dan Castle, with a mark in the second half, comes back to take the 5th string, 105 to 102. And as the match ends up here in the doubleheader, Ryan will win 10-4 over Ashlee, and Matt takes 12 to Dan Castle's 2. Ashlee threw a 503, which is averaging 100.6. Ryan, 4 pins shy of a 600 series with a 596. Hey, Rel Rage, thanks for dropping by. Matt Taylor with a 533 and Dan Castle struggling to a 457. Ashlee with 2 strikes, 10 spares, 9 tens. Ryan with 6 strikes, 11 spares, and 12 tens. Matt Taylor had 4 strikes, 9 spares, and 10 tens. And poor Dan with no strikes, 3 spares, and 13 tens for the match. So what I think I'm going to do here is get these stats out of the way. I'll give you some instant replays here, and not all of these are going to be great, but at least we can enjoy watching some of the bigger shots from earlier on in the match. I didn't want to do just the last one. I wanted to do them all. So let's hang on 1 second while he picks up that last spare. And once that clears out, we'll go through all of them. So we're going to go back a while here. I'm going to assume this is Ashlee cleaning up. There you go, the 1-2-7 exploding away. And then right after that, Matt picking up a 1-7. And then Matt's second spare in a row as he peens up the 1-2-4-10. Ryan's just got to be on the line here to pick up a nice 4-8. And he does it. I missed some of these, but I do really like to try to get all of the highlights that I can as Matt gets the strike out of that one. Ryan shaving a 6-8. This would be a great replay if I didn't have the stats in the way, wouldn't it? But hey, I screwed that up. Thanks, Bill. It's fun to sit here and cover these matches when I get a chance. I don't get a lot of hall passes. The good news is you can see it on the pin cam where Ashlee threw that pickup and then Matt right behind it. Then I realized, oh look, I've got this up here. Ashlee with the parallels pushes him over to the right. And then after she pushes the parallels, once again, she throws a spare, Matt throws a spare. See? Knocks the 4 and the wood all the way over into the 10 to convert that. I'm not doing that to show Ashlee have a tough time with the wood. It's Matt running down the 4 horsemen there to the left, nice and clean. And then Ryan running down the 4 horsemen to the right, nice and clean. Booms. Oh, another nice little split pickup here by Ryan, the 5-10. Even without touching the wood, it was clean. Just nice, right on target. Dan Castle doesn't want to submit the results. I can understand that. Absolutely hammering it. Oh, look, I'm going to get another highlight of my stats. The good news is it's just Ashlee picking up a 6-pin, but you'll see it there as she trips it forward in the pin cam. One of these days, I will remember to click that button and not have the stats there. Ashlee, I believe this was a 10. It was the 1-3-5-6. Looking at Ashlee punch the Worcester, this is going to be a strike. The slow fall, boom, down goes the 6. I think I clipped it twice. So we're going to watch it a second time. I wanted to make sure I got it. Oh, this was pretty. I don't think I've seen this left that often, and I certainly haven't seen it made that often. This is going to be another strike by Matt. He had 3 in that one string, and that one being just an absolute pocket crush. Ashlee picking up the 4 horse on the left with the 9-pin behind it as the pin comes off the wall. Ryan, all he's got to do is take out the 7-pin. They all count just the same. Spare's a spare is a spare. Dan Castle running down the 1-3-6. That's just going to be Ashlee throwing a strike. It sure is. As the 9 comes forward into the 4. This is going to be Matt. I probably already switched over by the time I made the clip. Nope, I just failed to click to the right bowler for the whole second half. Oh, blonde moments. Things I do wrong on streams that my highlights point out for me. It's always great to see. Matt Taylor in the reverse check mark. Perfectly hit. Ashlee with a diamond left in the 10. Bang. Just ball deflecting right off of the front of that diamond. Ryan absolutely blowing up the center for the spare there. Goes Ashlee with hopefully another strike for her. A real solid one as you see the pin sweep over and trip out the 7. Unfortunately, this wasn't done to make Dan feel frustrated over missing that, but to show Ryan just shoot the same side corner. An absolute clobber of a Brooklyn strike by Preus. Followed up, making it a double as the 5 gets tripped and goes. This is about Taylor hitting the cap and then exploding the sideways triangle there. A pretty pickup by Taylor here, the 1, 3, 7, 10. Perfect, perfect, absolutely perfect. You just see the head pin go off and into the 7. Up, Ryan's sitting over my shoulder as he's watching a strike come in. Boom.
All up.
Ah, awesome. Dan coming back. Gets that 5 pin to fall. It was actually really important for him there in the last string. Ryan making up for the baby triangle as well. That wasn't there to highlight Matt's bad luck on that, but Ashlee just sniping the 10 pin. Ryan's just got to take it easy. Nail the 7, and this is off the cap, and that was where we ended for the day. So I'd like to thank everybody for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed the replays at the end of the stream. Next time, I'll make sure I have the stream saying that we're at Ryan Family Amusements. And to all the ACST bowlers, I wish you good luck this upcoming season. Take care.